changes in the groups. We're broken down into 4 groups, and no group would have more than 8. Most groups will have 6 or 7. This group over here would be Rowina's group. Your group will meet over here. Donna's group will meet here. Donna Levette's group will stay back over in that corner. And then Lori's group will stay back in this corner. And there have been some changes. I want to make sure that no group has more than 8. Most groups have either 6, 7, and Donna Levette's group has 8 right now. But we'll get into that, and then we've had to switch some partners because some of you have 3 because we had a different number. And 3, that means you don't coach each other back to back. One coach, one person, one coach, the second person. It's a round table type coach. So we're going to switch you up that way too for that. And I play with the group. I want to make it a little more balanced in some areas. I'm very tempted down to just ban your group.
Already put us in the corner. Now you're going to do it.
Now I kept your group the same. I just think it's Donna's anointing.
We were like that.
I know it. I said it must be Donna Levette's anointing. Just a loud group in there. Okay, we got a commercial break. Honey?
I just want to share something when I was going through this material again. How many of you are familiar with Dr. David Young Cho?
Yeah.
How many of you have heard that name before? Mm-hmm. His name used to be Paul Young Cho, I think. He changed his name like 10 years ago. But he's the pastor of the largest church in the world.
Oh, wow.
And because of that, a lot of people go to him for leadership advice because he's real strong in training leaders in his church. Well, if you look on page 34 of your book, he puts an endorsement in here for coaching style.
For what?
The coaching style.
Okay.
He has adopted this way of training his leaders now after going through coaching.
Oh, wow.
And that is a big thing to say because people go to him all the time. But now that he's been a part of coaching, he sees that that's a better way to do it. I just wanted to bring that out because he has the largest church in the world. So I think he kind of knows what he's doing.
So are you saying there's a paragraph in here or something?
Somewhere, yeah.
It's at the top.
Is that the top in here?
Oh, this is italics.
Oh, it's at the top.
Yeah, I just wanted to read it out. Oh, she's also on the back cover.
Oh, yeah.
Done back cover.
Right?
I haven't had it
No,
look
it's
at
at
home, so I
Yeah,
just
right here.
wanted
So right here.
to-
Yeah, that's right.
I had it read it all. I was bringing books off my shelf. Yeah. So, just thought you might to know that. Somebody thinks we're on the right track. All right.
That's good.
How many members do we have, like millions? That's a lot.
Okay, that's the tidbit for today. Paul Young Cho, largest church, promotes coaching in his church one-on-one. Today, the learning objective, session 3, responsibility to understand the power of keeping people responsible for their own lives and actions through the coaching approach. That's when we talked about the coaching approach. This would be very important that the person who's the client or the coachee, they take on the responsibility. Now, to help yourself out, when you're just doing 2 people, and you're taking turns where who's going to be the coachee or the client first, that person should make the phone call. I'm going to get into that a little later. So you get familiarize yourself with how the client should respond. Okay? So don't you just, so you may flip-flop each week. If Pam, who's your partner?
Maria.
Oh my goodness.
The dynamic duo.
Okay. I just want to pass the book. Oh my God. But if Pam is gonna, if you two decide, okay, every other week we're gonna switch, well, one's gonna start off being the client, one's gonna start off being the coach. And if Pam is the client, it's Pam's responsibility to call you. Whatever time you've set up, then the next week is your responsibility to call her. We want you to get used to how the client is to be responsible. Okay, so don't take your coaching session as all we're calling each other. Be intentional about who's going to be the client first, who's going to be the coach. You flip-flop each week when you do that. So you're intentional. So we want to learn the responsibility of the client. And that's what we're going to be talking about a little bit, to understand the power of keeping people responsible for their own lives and action through the coaching approach. Because you're not responsible for them. They're going to be responsible. Okay? 2, it's back on. We call this a chat question. What most stood out to you this week from the book, the CD, or last week's class? What most stood out to you this week from the book, the CD, Average?
Listening, it really, dove into that, and I thought it was interesting how I used that scenario where you had to actually listen and pay attention to what you were thinking as you were listening. Because that's so hard to not, come up with your own ideas or think about what you want to say while someone's talking and just give them your undivided attention. That was
Good. Yolanda?
One of the things that stood out to me was that when I took the core values assessment,
Okay.
a lot of my numbers were real close. And one of the things that stood out.
They can't hear you.
When I took the assessment, one of the things in my top 5 core values, when I went through the steps underneath, a lot of my numbers were the same. And one of the things that I asked God, what does that mean? And one of the things that I heard for myself was that it showed me how some things were conflicting with each other.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Because the numbers were so close, and how it could actually trickle into causing conflict in another area while you're trying to build in a different area, and so forth and so on. So for me, that was just a great revelation that I got.
I'm glad you got that revelation. I never told you. I was way off the ball somewhere. You're confident, you're a trust girl. And you have to believe that people can hear from God and God can reveal to them what they need to do. That's very good. That's very good. Now, if I was coaching you, I said, tell me more. I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a favorite punchline. Why? Because I want to know more about how she came to that, how God revealed that to her. Because he reveals some very powerful things that will cause you to reflect and think before you go further, in that area. Anything else?
I feel like I need to up my dosage of ADD medication. To be able to focus and pay attention, because even through some of the exercises, I'm thinking okay, I could see, and I wrote them down where my mind was taking me. Rather, I was hungry, I know I need to eat right now, thinking what my daughter's up to, and I'm like, okay, you need to zone in and really focus and be intentional about, listening.
That's one of the biggest challenges that I would have. Because again, I'm a problem solver. I'm always trying to solve problems. Now, Joyce has trained me for 42 years. And probably got another 42 years of training coming. Because I would she'll say something and I'm thinking the answer. How can I help her get out of this? And Joyce said, Irvin, I don't want the answer. I just want you to listen to me. And so it's going to be a very skill that we have to learn. We're going to have to focus on it. And we'll get some activity done. Yes, Shay.
I'm really interested in what we talked about last time, how you were saying changing a person's perspective, like when they're stuck, like I don't know where I want to go. Thinking of some thought-provoking questions that's going to shift that mindset where they don't seem stuck. Like you said, I don't have any other options. But being able to have good questioning techniques for those.
One of the things when you're coaching, silence is golden. In other words, don't think silence is a bad thing. Because sometimes they're thinking. And some of you, I'm not going to call your name because I'll be putting your business out here. But some of you have that hurry up card. You want to get an answer right now. You want an answer right now. And no, you just got to learn. take your time, listen, and again, I listen for key words of what they're saying. And I'll pull on the key words and try to bring that up. 5 options is very hard, but it will give people, it will really help them if they can come up with those options. And that's where you can interject. Antoinette and then Joyce.
Last week we talked about the paradigm shift, and oh man, that was for me, because I'm so used to talking to people and trying to give my advice and counseling, and that wasn't what coaching is about. So it was like in action during the week with working with our peer partners, because I wanted to say something, but I was like,
Okay. You're really silent then, huh? I'm not giving out any advice. and it is a paradigm shift because most of you are leaders, and we have a bias towards action, solve problems, and that includes giving out advice. We want to help people, but there's a growth area where they'll grow better, they'll grow stronger if we learn to give them to hear from God.
Yes.
For the night. And it's quicker to give out advice. Your coaching session will be shorter, but you want to really give them a chance to learn. Joyce.
When I finished the core value assessment, my number 1 core value had never even entered my mind. I never would have.
Wow.
Never.
Now, was it a part of you when you look back?
Yes.
Okay, but never in your mind, huh?
I had never identified it. I never knew what that was. I could feel it, but I never could label it.
Are you gonna tell us what it is?
No, because of interpretation.
That's good. That's good. So you're just right now, since I've done the core values assessment, I live by my core values. That's how my decisions are made based upon the core values that are already in me. Now, I didn't share it with you, I'm going to share with the other class. I had listed my 10. I had my top 10, and then I went down to my grade 8, my magnificent 7, then my core 5, but all of my 10, at least the first 9 are really integrated into me. And they can change over a season. But not my first 2. My first 2 are solid. They've been with me all of my life. 1 or 2. And they're flip-flop depending on the season, for that. But before then, until about 3 or 4 years ago, I wasn't living by them. Because I wasn't resonating. I guess the first 3. I knew the first 3, but after that, they would come and go. Now, one of my core values, pastor ministers on all the time, is peace. I want peace, man. I choose my fights. I choose who I'm going to fight with. If I'm going to disagree with, man. I'm in Club Oasis. Older adults still in service. I'll pick my fight wisely. So okay. Catherine has something down. Did you have something?
Well, it's more like I tried coaching, and I found myself getting impatient after a while. With the listening, and they were going down a path, and I was asking questions, and the more I listened, I found myself just kind of shutting down, where I was like, okay. So I need some help.
We're going to get some help. We're going to give you a chance to listen today.
was this recently or from before?
Oh, recently.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's going to get, as again, that's why we say practice does not make perfect, but it does make for improvement and confidence. And you can get a lot of practice today on listening and coaching. Donna?
Well, I was gonna say something else, but let me respond to this. I think what helps me is that I realize that when I'm coaching someone the first time, that what they say initially is usually not at all where you're gonna go eventually. And I know that. And so almost like an investigator, I'm sitting there saying, but I'm asking questions so that I can eventually get to the real deal. And because most people don't say the real deal. No. And if we're honest with us, sometimes when we're talking, we'll give bits and pieces, but not the whole thing. And so because I know that, then that keeps me interested because I'm trying to say, now, but you're not saying yet. And I'm looking to pull out, I'm looking for the questions and those things that I can say that will pull out. So in the end, they say, oh my goodness, I didn't expect to go there, but you know what? I'm here.
Going in with the mindset, knowing that, there's something deeper.
And you gotta realize, especially with men, now, I'm not sure how many, I know the men will coach men, but when you're coaching, you coach men and women. But men will say what they think before they say what they feel. They will say what they think before they say what they feel. And so coaching will bring out what they really feel about a certain matter, as opposed to what they think. And the first thing come out of their mouth is not really what they feel. Sometimes they're thinking about it, the logical answer, or what could be the best answer. And it could be for women too. I just know in coaching, men are talking to men and women. I normally get what men think first before what really comes out of them, what they really feel about the matter.
And sometimes not even the fullness of what they think at first.
Anyone else? Yes.
I really got stuck on the chapter where it talked about the heart of a coach. That chapter to me really resonated with me because I really want to make sure that, and it kind of piggybacks off what she was saying in terms of just when you're speaking to somebody, because every situation that I'm in, every conversation that I have, I'm always trying to, switch my mind over the coach. I'm like, okay, let me try and practice on them or something.
Right.
And when I do that, when you find yourself caught, stuck in a rut, or you find yourself, just the coaching habits just haven't been habitual enough to be natural yet. You find yourself going back to old habits or going back to just mentoring or counseling. So it's just really, really for me, I thought it was just it's important for me to really focus. I read that chapter like 10 or 12 times already. And I'm really trying to embody the heart of a coach. So that way I won't go back to old habits. I can, I can actually move forward as well. Because if I'm future minded when I'm a coach, then I can help them be there too. But if I'm not there, how can I even expect him to change?
That's why you got 26 more weeks with me. We're gonna be into that. Again, we practice every week in class, and you practice outside of class, and then you're gonna be practicing as you just walk up to people. You're gonna find yourself thinking, Coach, what question can I ask? You're gonna find yourself, it's gonna become a part of you. Anyone else? Yes.
I just want to comment, I wasn't here last week, but I just want to comment on, I work at Disability Network, and we go through a training, it's called motivational interviewing, and it's the same concept, and one of the main things they teach is don't be attached to the outcome. And that's how you get through it without being attached. If they say, dumb stuff, you're like, oh, that's what you want to do? Okay. Well, tell me more about that, and then, and it's and they was telling me, to use it on my kids, but the hard thing there is I am attached to the outcome of my kids. And so, but not being attached to the outcome helped me going in like, okay, you know what, I don't care if they say something dumb, we're gonna be okay, and we're gonna get through this, and so that it was something that helped, but not with my kids.
Don't be attached to that.
There was two other things that I found that, as I say, tell me more, what do you think? It just, I guess because it's not natural, it just came across so contrived. And I just felt, I don't know, I don't want to say not genuine, but it just felt like they knew that I was trying to coach them you know what I mean? Tell me more about that. It just felt like, oh, that's not natural. And then secondly, I think I have to get better at putting myself out of it, because I don't like people asking me a lot of questions. And so it creates a hesitation when I'm trying to ask questions, because I'm empathizing. I'm like, well, I don't know about that. I don't want to say anymore. So, and I'm just being honest. And so I struggled, last week, but maybe at the end. And I was just telling Donna here, I was sitting here thinking like, maybe I ain't supposed to be a coach.
Well, what I sense is that maybe what coaching, it's similar to what Roy was saying, is it's really a relationship. And and it takes time to, you know, switch over to a new way to relate. So it's not so much that you're trying to think of a great question or that same line, is that you have a different, you know, relationship, and you're genuinely trying to listen and tap into something, you know, and they can sense that, you know, so it's just more about relaxing and get into that relationship of coaching.
The biggest thing for all of us here is the paradigm shift is that you gotta come out your comfort zone. And the comfort zone, that's what you've been used to doing all the time. You know, and that's where the challenge comes. That's where it comes in from, man, do I belong here or not? And I'm gonna be honest with you, coaching is not for everyone. Coaching is not for everyone. That's why some people go into coaching and consulting, because they have a certain specialty they want to build out. But others are coach. You coach someone who tell you that I'm stuck here, I want to go from here to here. And if they're hungry enough to be coached, they'll be open to questions. Now, they may tell you, you may not be a fit for them, and that's okay. That's why I'm saying, you may not be a fit for them, and they may not be a fit for you. You have to learn to say, you're not the best fit. I told you earlier, we told a couple, we can't help you anymore. You need counseling. Dollar vet. We know what you need. Because you kept, I said, they kept bringing up the past. I said, I can't deal with the past. Every time we get started, you bring up the past. We can't go to the future because you called in the past. Get a counselor and then come back to me when you're ready to go forward. Counseling is like a person who has broken their leg getting it fixed. Coaching is once that leg is fixed, that person's ready to run a 5-minute mile. So I'm going to help them how to run, but if I'm counseling them, they got to get healed first. Everyone understand what I'm saying? So counseling deals with your past, something happened to bring that to a point. Now, can you have past things happen and still get a coach? Yes. Depends on where your focus is. You know, my focus is going forward. You know, and that's the key. And so I'm being trained to run that 5-minute mile. I had a lot of questions. Start with Jennifer.
One of the things that really struck me that was kind of a paradigm shift for me was with the idea that giving people responsibility or letting them take responsibility is very empowering. It's not pushing. I don't know what it is about me, but I always feel like if I'm shifting responsibility to someone else, like I'm trying to get out of something. But what I have never thought about was that by shifting responsibility to someone else, it's not about me trying to get away. It's about me giving someone else the opportunity to do it themselves. That is such an empowering concept, and I had never thought about it that way.
Say that again. I mean, because that's going to change my mindset. I'm trying to get out of something. So I'm empowering them.
Right, it really is. I never thought about it. Yeah. You empowered them to take responsibility. That is huge.
That is huge. Everyone get that? That might be on your final exam. Now you have to take notes on that.
And another way to think on, just to piggyback on what she's talking about, you think about the butterfly and how it's formed. When it's in that cocoon, just think, if you walked by that cocoon and you saw something going, trying to get out, what would happen if you were to take a stick and break that cocoon? Kill it. Would that butterfly be the beautiful being that God meant it to be? No, because you interrupted the process. So all this is a process to help strengthen them, to bump their head if they need to. But you're there just like that little cartoon thing we saw. Put that little net, let them fall in the net, and then you know, give them a little Band-Aid, you know, kiss it, you know, you do your little kids, kiss it, make it all right. And then put them back out there again. That's good. Some, you had something to say?
Yep, I did. It's interesting because Catherine and I are peers. And it's very interesting that her comment about not wanting to be questioned, because I had this conversation with my daughter, talking about my grandmother and how I'm so much like her. My grandmother used to ask a lot of questions. I like to ask questions, but I don't want anybody asking me a question. So guess what?
Now, enjoy your coaches this semester. We've changed every semester. I get you used to coaching different people. Daryl?
Now, do you find that it can't be a cookie cutter approach because we're all unique, so as you build relationships, you understand how to approach each individual.
And that's the key. That's why you gotta be sensitive to God and be prayerful to God about the people you're coaching. You know, and really be focused on them. Any others? Pam?
I'm thinking that it'll come to a place where I will create a language for each individual person that I'm coaching, how to ask questions, and like Catherine said, not sound like I'm a recorder or something. I'm hoping that it'll come naturally, that I'm using my questions, formulating my questions in a way that it doesn't look like I read it out of the book.
Yeah. Eventually it will.
Eventually.
But what you start off, you get a lot of toolkits with different questions in there. And the whole idea, that's what you're praying, that's Lord, show me, that's what you prayed before. Show me how to lead this person. Show me how to pull it out of them. Now in the beginning, it's kind of like riding a bike, you're gonna be awkward. So you will have questions here. But some are gonna resonate with you because the Holy Spirit is gonna reveal them to you. You know, you're gonna have hundreds of questions. But they're just in your toolkit. You may not go through them all or anything, but there's going to be questions for different scenarios. But those are not to be, how can I say, you're all the time doing. Right. They'll just give you an idea of the type of questions. But the key thing is listening, looking for key words, allowing the Holy Spirit to speak to you about the questions to ask. And what happens if you ask someone a question and it's answered yes or no? What do you do?
No more.
That wasn't my answer. They don't. I want to let you know. They don't know that the yes or no question is not the question you're supposed to ask. That's a good answer. I didn't know that. I tell you, I'm well trained and they tell me more.
Pastor, not only are you giving them a lot of different kind of questions, one of the trainings are going to teach you the kinds of questions to ask in different kind of scenarios. Remember that the training is still going to give you more tools that are going to help you be more comfortable.
Yeah, that's winter semester. So I'm looking at you getting that right now. That's winter semester. That when Donna's doing the Destiny, and we're doing another training on different techniques, different styles of coaching, or different things for your toolbox. Now, in your groups, I'm gonna switch your groups up, and I'll get to your coaching partners in a minute. I had to make some changes, mostly with Donna and Laura's group. So right now, you can break into your groups because we're gonna do some group discussions. Donna Jones' new group is Patricia, Robin,